Welcome to the Pocket Size PR podcast, the podcast where pocket-sized portions of PR wisdom are distilled and applied to real-life situations by communications and marketing professionals. I am your host, Charlotte Nichols from PR agency Harvey & Hugo, and I'm delighted to be joined by Angela Carrington today. Angela is Managing Director of the Bigger Picture Agency. Angela, please can you define PR for me?
Oof. Start off with a big question.
Absolutely.
For me, PR is primarily a management function, or should be, of most businesses or individuals that are seen in the public eye. Not just reactive PR, kind of crisis management, reputational management, but can also be used to influence and help people to make decisions.
Absolutely. It's all about influence and decisions, I think. And you are a photographer. How important is photography to PR?
I think it's vital. It goes hand in hand with the rest of the armoury, as I like to think of it, that a PR professional has. I think I always get this kind of funny vision of when I talk about the armoury of like an archer with a quiver on the back, and photography is one of the arrows that you can shoot and aim at the same time as something else. That helps to influence things.
Oh, and we're a big fan of it. It's critical in what we do. At the end of the day, we're storytellers, and the photographs help tell the stories.
Absolutely.
100%. And how do you manage to capture personality in kind of a single shot?
That's tough. It depends, I suppose, if we're talking about a single shot that's for to accompany a particular press release, or whether it's to kind of show a brand.
Both. Would there be a difference?
Yeah, for me there is a difference. Yeah, quite a big difference. I approach them very differently anyway.
I would agree.
Yeah. So a shot that is to accompany a press release is normally about one specific story. So I like to think about how we can demonstrate that in one still image. How can we best represent it? And if we can't represent the whole story, that's fine. But it has to nod to the story and it has to be aligned with it. So if it's about a specific thing, just having a picture of somebody stood in front of a blank wall just doesn't cut it for me.
No, absolutely not.
Doesn't give anything at all to any publication that wants to use it.
No.
So that would be my primary driver when thinking about what photograph I was going to take to accompany a story. So something that's going out to press, basically. If it's a photograph that is going to be used on a website or as part of an editorial piece, or just to create a suite of brand images, I think that's when you have to delve into who that person is, what that business does, but more who the person is really, and think about how best to capture them and how best to represent them in a way that not only they're comfortable with, but aligns with their business usually, or what it is they do.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just so important, isn't it? Because people make so many judgments. I'd say more so from the images rather than the words that accompany them.
I think they judge people more from the images.
Yes.
100%.
Definitely.
I think people still make decisions based on the words, but that judgment is instant. It's
almost you can't even control it. Your subconscious does it before you even have a chance to grab
and you've
hold.
got so many unconscious biases as well that you don't even know about.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that we're programmed to even as we're born. So we can't really, it's our conscious that steps in and decides, hang on, that's wrong. That's the wrong judgment to make. Or actually, I agree with that judgment. It's it's very interesting.
Or you could be fooling somebody and they think that they like you because what they say, but in fact the person behind that isn't actually that nice.
Yeah.
That's the flip side.
So, and you might not be able to answer this, but are you ever doing a photo shoot where someone's asked you to portray them as a certain personality and you maybe think, well, hang on, I'm not sure it aligns?
Yeah, but usually it's not as clear as a bad person trying to look like a good person. I'm speaking in very basic terms there on purpose. But more somebody trying to portray themselves as confident when they're far from it.
Yeah.
Or even that they're an expert in their field when in fact they aren't. Shock horror.
Interesting. And you can capture that on photography and you think that it comes across, but they're not.
No, I think I can help them fool it.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So what sort of tips do you give without giving away all your trade secrets? Like not just to fool people, but even if someone's like lacking in confidence.
Yeah. How do you blag it?
Yeah, how do you blag
Fake
it?
it till you make it. Okay. So I think that there are certain poses that you can put people in that instills confidence.
Okay.
I think that where I shoot from makes a difference.
Right.
I think certain expressions make a difference. I'll even say a lot of times on a shoot, I'll go, that's it. You've got the I know what I'm talking about face on now. So that's what I can recognise in somebody else, even if they don't know what they're talking about.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
There's so many, like a lot of things in life, when you get to know the skills involved, you think, there's so much more to it than you realised. Yeah, absolutely. And now anyone could take a photo on their camera, on their phone.
Yeah.
And you must get frustrated by that and people thinking that they're photographers.
Not really.
No?
No. I don't, because all of those kind of tricks of the trade, I realise I sound like I'm tricking everybody. That sounds terrible, but I'm influencing people with the way I take the photographs, you know? So if I want to make somebody look powerful, I'll sit on the floor and take a shot of them so that they look like a giant in the scene.
Yeah.
There's just little things.
Lots of little tricks.
And people that aren't super duper iPhone photographers wouldn't know that, and they'll just take a normal shot and it won't have the same impact. So I could use their phone and get the same effect, is what I'm saying.
No, I understand that. It's the skills behind the camera. And when it comes to press photography, we find that that's just critical to the story being used. Obviously, if you've got an outstandingly strong story, it'll get picked up, but it might lack the space or the quality if it's got that strong, vibrant image with it that's telling the story. Equally, on reverse, you might have a story that's not the strongest in the world, but you've got a fabulous image that's really going to grab the kind of the general public's attention when they're flicking through the magazine or looking online. So it's imperative, really.
Absolutely. You can really... I always say that a good photograph can propel something to a front page that never would have been on a front page. Just through the power of that one single image.
It's so true. And we find sometimes that people don't allow that little bit extra budget to get that high quality photo attached to the press release. Is that a frustration of yours?
That is a frustration, because I think that that is such a false economy. I don't really understand it, because it's such an integral part of the whole PR process. And actually going back to your comment about iPhones and things, I think that because you get a lot of job functions within marketing agencies now, or in-house marketing teams, should I say, not really marketing agencies, where you'll get somebody that's producing content for socials. So the business owner might then assume that they can take those type of photographs. I get that a lot. And I feel really sorry for those people, because they might be able to do a decent picture on the phone, or even a camera that boss has bought them and it's in the cupboard.
Yeah.
But they won't really understand all of those subtleties that goes into a press shot, and things like kind of the way somebody's positioned, what they stood in front of, what's in the background. What's in the background? God, I could do a whole podcast on what's in the background.
I would like that podcast. Yeah, we get all sorts in the background as well. And obviously Photoshop can work, but, you know, ideally if you just don't have those things in the background, that's really helpful in the first place. What's the worst thing you've seen in the background?
Oh, God. I saw 2 dogs having sex.
Really, like quite a serious press shot, or
I can't remember what it was now. It was hilarious though. They were just like in the distance in the background. I was like, brilliant. That's just classic. I think it was for a constructor, like a start of build.
Yeah. Oh.
So they were on some wasteland.
Yeah, it's almost worth leaving that one in, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's golden.
Brilliant. Can you share an example? And I know it might be a very difficult thing to do. It's sometimes quite hard to measure, where photography has directly impacted campaign success.
I can share probably quite a simple positive example of that, which is a new restaurant was opening in Newcastle, which isn't the most exciting story ever. There's lots of new restaurants open all the time. And I arranged to get all of the chefs. It was a world restaurant, so all of the chefs on the Millennium Bridge with their kind of cooking stuff and things. With the PR agency, that was not my idea, but I executed it.
Okay.
And I took the shot from the water on a boat.
Oh, right.
So
cool.
I went to quite a lot of lengths to get that shot. So what was a nice story was propelled to a much higher position, or showing my age, but it pushes it to the front of the business pages or the front page. Yeah. Does anyone read papers anymore?
I think they do. I do think a certain audience does, and maybe they'll even become more and more popular with AI, the actual printed media. But I think they read them online and on their social media accounts either way.
But you don't get that buzz of the front page thing, though. That's the thing.
I know. The front page thing.
The front page.
Even front page of the business news, because a lot of our stories are always B2B. Oh, yeah. And especially if it's an image you've taken.
That's what I would always go for in my head. Yeah. Always make the front page. Always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Me too. I think you have to because you're constantly striving for the ultimate coverage you can get.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and going back to that point about social media, I see social media images as just as important. It could be viewed more times than say something in an online publication. It
lasts longer.
Yes, definitely. It's there on your profile for all to see. It's a showcase of yourself. Yeah. I think it is critical that they're still that high level quality.
Yeah, definitely.
But people do think, and I've heard it said, and you know what? Maybe I've been guilty of saying it before in the past that it doesn't have to be as good quality for social media, but I think it does these days.
I think it does. I think it's important that it's decent quality, but you also have to remember all of those things that are important in a single press release shot. They're just as important in social media posts. Mm-hmm. If you think that people aren't judging the state of your office in the background of the shot and things, you're wrong, because they do.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I know people that the first thing they do is they almost don't look at who's in the photograph. They look around the office in the background and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Mm. Yeah, people, as you said, it's influencing, isn't it?
Mm. And I think people have got to be bold, just kind of talking about that, going for that front page shot. I think that you have to be brave sometimes to do something that is unusual, to be able to get that kind of coverage.
Yeah.
I can think of a good example of this, which has just popped in my head actually.
Excellent.
As we were talking.
Yeah.
And there was... I was commissioned to do a PR shot for a lady who had launched a book, and it was about business behaviour, so human behaviour in business.
Right.
And it was based around chimp behaviour in zoos. Right?
Cool.
So it's quite random.
Yeah,
quite cool.
I like it.
Would it have made the front page? I don't know. So she turned up to my studio, in fact, to do this shot, which I'm never that comfortable with because it shouldn't be a studio shot.
Yeah.
With a banner stand.
Don't
stop me on banner stands. So with a banner stand and her book.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, this is going to be a really boring shot. I don't feel that this is going to do you justice. You've got a really interesting book. This is not the shot that you want. Mm. And she pushed back, and I was like, please, will you trust me to try something?
Yeah.
We'll do your shot with your banner stand and your book, and we'll do my shot.
Yeah.
Right? So we did the banner stand and the book. And then I got my MacBook, and I got a picture of a chimp, and I got it to look like she was interacting with the chimp on the Mac. She's just looking at the Mac with the chimp on, right?
Yeah.
And it went on the front page of the Australian Times because
Wow.
she was originally from Australia. Loads of coverage here.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote to me and she said, I apologise. You are absolutely right.
Oh, brilliant.
So that was lovely.
That must be nice to hear that.
And
back.
I've got a copy of it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's so true. The lack of creativity you often see in a lot of the press shots. It is often like an afterthought, and it absolutely should not be. No, it should be at the forefront of your mind. I'm going to get a press release done, but actually let's start thinking about the press shot. Who needs to be in it? Where does it need to be taken? Totally agree with you about the studio not necessarily being the right place because it needs to be part of where the story's happening. But obviously if that's all you've got,
she was just in the UK. There was no connection to the Northeast, you see. So
yeah, that makes sense. But the classic banner stand press shot. Which, was all right back in the day.
It's never all right.
Never all right. Another one is the cheque handing over.
Yeah.
Again, I've done my fair share of those. Again, probably about 15 years ago. So, yeah.
They still happen, but now they're shiny checks.
Right, okay.
So people don't have to reuse them. They can reuse them, sorry. They don't have to throw them away.
You can rub it off, yeah.
But they're even worse.
Sometimes they're becoming, though, when something's a bit cringe, it's cool. Maybe it's making the comeback like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
That said, though, they do still sometimes get used in the media, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
Because they are really nice, good news stories, but I'm sure there's a better way to display it than a giant check.
Absolutely. So what is your favourite kind of brand photography moment or press photography moment?
I think that example I just gave was probably my press photography. high moment there in terms of that feedback and the result. But I think that my favourite brand photography is actually for a manufacturer rather than a person.
Cool.
So I'm trying to think when we started working with them, but about, I don't know, six years ago. Am I allowed to name check brands? Or? Yeah, okay. So we were commissioned to do a load of product photography for Erwin Group, which are the company that produce, part of a global company, campervans, motorhomes.
Oh, cool.
You know, Eldis.
Yes.
They're a northeast-based company,
Brilliant.
but part of a global brand.
Awesome.
So we were commissioned to photograph their products. Now, their products are obviously in a factory, they're vehicles. So every year we shoot the next season's vehicles inside and out. So it's really cool.
Oh, brilliant.
But they didn't have any brand, believe it or not, they had no brand photography at all.
Right.
So I was kind of plugging away for year one and into year two, saying, "Come on, I think we can do something better than this," as well as in addition to the product shots, which are really important.
Yes.
So I nagged a bit, which is not what I normally do with clients at all. But I felt that they were really missing a trick.
Yeah.
So I kind of walked them into it in a really nice way over a couple of years.
Cool.
And then created a series of photo shoots and video, but mainly it was photography led, where I kind of really delved into who were their clients, what's the demographic of the people that buy certain types of vehicles, and then set up these different scenarios. So surfers at the beach with their Explore range, which is the camper vans.
Nice.
Got some real surfers doing surfing and then
lovely.
getting in the van and everything. Family, I hired a whole lock exclusively in Northumberland and got this family on their top of the range, big Buccaneer caravan, kind of early retiring, 55-ish couple with a motorhome and stuff, and created these beautiful images. I've hired bits of the forests, all sorts of things, and directed all of those shoots. So they've got this beautiful suite of images that they're still using all the time now, and that was initially a few years ago. And they go to the big show at the NEC every year, and apparently they keep telling me I should go because my images are like the size of a wall and things. They're like enormous, so that's quite nice to hear. So definitely that's probably the most fulfilling example, I think, for me.
It's lovely. And it is so important. You're kind of selling a feeling, aren't you, at the end of the day?
A lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's so important that you create those little kind of images that make it come to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just wheels. With stuff on the top.
And like you say, they can look nice.
Yeah.
But you create that feeling and that lifestyle that people can aspire to.
Car manufacturers have been doing it for years, haven't they?
Yeah. Brilliant. That's a lovely example. We've probably touched on a few of these already, but what are the most common mistakes that you see?
So you've ruined this.
No, sorry.
Banner stands.
Yeah.
Giant checks. And backgrounds.
Okay. Is there anything people should look out for in backgrounds?
Yeah. I think I can give a really good tip on this, and that is if your press release, if your story is about a specific location, a specific building, don't stand in the doorway of the building. Come away from the building. Stand almost as far away as you can stand, so that you can see most of the. You're really prominent in the foreground, but you can actually see the background.
Yep.
You can see the building in the background, because you don't know where a photo editor in a magazine or a newspaper is going to crop that image. And if they just crop it to just you in a doorway, it literally could be any building anywhere in the world. It's completely meaningless. So if you're ever doing a shot about a building, walk away from your building.
Totally agree. Yeah, but you see it all the time, don't you?
All the time.
Yeah. And they can look so cool and arty when they're quite far, and don't be afraid to cross roads and things like that.
I'm always on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
Literally. That should be my metaphor for like... Or is that the tracks? Anyway.
So true, but obviously, safety, because if you're backing away trying to take a photo and you're crossing a road, that's not helpful to anyone.
There's been a few near misses.
Really?
Of me?
Yeah.
Because I'm always the one in the road.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine.
You're worth it. For that front page shot, it's worth
it.
Cool. We've covered a bit of this one as well, but any other tips for helping people feel comfortable? We get it all the time that, we want to come and take a press shot and they're just like, oh, no, thank you. I don't want to be in it. Any tips for making people feel comfortable?
I think what you've got to reassure them is that you're not going to make them look silly, that they will get the ultimate decision as to whether it's used. Make sure they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Make sure they're wearing something they're comfortable in. that's appropriate for the story.
That's a good point.
That can be difficult.
Yeah.
And just that reassurance, really, that it's not a scary process. I don't particularly like having my photograph taken, unless I'm drunk and it's a selfie, then I'm fine. But yeah, an actual photo shoot, I'll do anything to put that off if I can, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. So, but I wouldn't be scared of it. I don't know. I think all that a PR agency or a photographer can do is reassure somebody that they're going to make them look good.
Yeah, it's our job, isn't it? Yeah. It's interesting. I don't think, maybe we're just conditioned as humans, just like we don't like hearing our own voice, we don't like seeing our own images.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. And would you give people different advice on how to prep for a press shot image versus a branding shot? Yeah,
a branding shot should definitely be about how they want to appear, or how they want to appear even if they don't normally dress that way. I think the world's changed a lot, so a lot of those conventions are gone. I think there's only a few professions where, for example, a shirt and tie still have to be worn. Well, I say have to be, but they believe it has to be worn, like the legal profession and things.
Yeah.
Some banking. But the rest of the world's changed dramatically in the time that I've been shooting. So I would say that because a lot of those conventions are gone, that people should feel free to express themselves. However, I think there is an appropriateness to certain things, so you wouldn't want to look too scruffy if you... Well, the best way to think about it is, who are you trying to attract? Who are you trying to influence by putting that photograph out? Because if you turn them off with the way you look, what was the point in doing it?
Absolutely.
It's a complete waste of time.
Yeah, I agree. It's also as well, how do you want to be perceived? Because I'm all for dressing however you want and feel comfortable, but people are going to have certain perceptions of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just to be aware of it. And if you think about it and you think, sod them, I'm going to wear what I want, that's your call.
Yeah,
Go
totally.
for it. And I would support that. But if you are concerned that you could perhaps just change one or two little things just to adapt it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I've chucked a jacket on because I knew you'd take a picture today when I was actually just in my T-shirt and my jeans.
But I love your style.
Well, thank you very much. But that's me. But that's taken a long time to get to that.
Oh,
I
really?
could do a whole thing about this, So I think, especially if you're not kind of gender conforming, I think that's been very difficult in the past, and it's not so much now.
Yeah,
so things have got a little bit easier, I think, for people.
Yeah, I agree. So how long have you been doing photography?
97, so what's that? 28 years.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay, and
I'm old.
I'm
pre-digital.
But in those days, were you literally mainly, if it was a B2B shoot, corporate shoot, it was all suits?
Yeah.
And was it mostly men back then as well?
Yeah. Definitely.
Wow.
Oh yeah, things have changed a lot.
Yeah.
I think I've seen quite a lot.
It would be interesting almost as an exhibition, as like corporate photography, to do like a style guide, like the average typical shoot you do.
Yeah, but I probably wasn't doing PR photography back then though, so that's when I first started. So I was back in Manchester, worked in a studio then, and then moved to the northeast, and then found my way into this kind of area. So probably in PR photography 15 to 20 years. It's probably still quite interesting, but not as many as 28.
Yeah, definitely. But then I always think, where's it going to go? Because, we're getting more and more casual, which I don't have problems with. No. But then are we going to be all in our pajamas in another few years?
That sounds like where I live.
Then I can see benefits to that as well. But,
I just think about the germs, like the germs you take back into your bed.
Yeah, it's all good.
Being out, it's gross.
I hadn't thought about that. That's disgusting.
I've thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
I don't live in a posh area, so I see a lot of pajamas out and about.
Yeah, that is disgusting, actually, now that you think about it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to sleep and things are worn out during the day. Yeah. Yeah, it's even sitting in seats that other people have sat in.
I know.
That's fine in your clothes, but not in pyjamas.
Not in your PJs.
No.
You're inviting the world into your bed. That sounds
weird. Another podcast. But yeah, it is just weird. Like how much more casual and relaxed is it going to get? Or is it going to go full circle and we go back? Sometimes I will purposefully wear smarter clothes to stand out these days.
Yeah, me too.
Because sometimes I like to just wear jeans and a hoodie, but sometimes, you want to be perceived differently.
If I've got a day in the studio, I really enjoy wearing casual clothes, but 99% of the time I'm out meeting clients that wouldn't appreciate that level of casual dress. And it's really interesting because I've had to try and get that across to my staff as well.
Yeah,
So it's really hard that, because I don't want to be kind of draconian about it and say, no, you can't wear jeans and trainers for this particular shoot. But I've had to do it in the end.
Yeah.
So you have to almost mirror them.
Yeah, totally.
You have to.
I know. And then they can say, why? I'm still doing a great job here. And I totally get that. But again, it goes back to perception and image.
Yeah. That is it could be an outdated perception, though.
Yeah, it could, and it may change.
We talk about this a lot in our business.
I bet you do, yeah. We had a colleague once who went to a law firm and she had tattoos, and that wasn't appreciated. No. This is going back about 10 years.
Yeah, we shoot for a lot of law firms and barristers' firms, and even within their organisations, thinking specifically of the barristers' firm, which I won't name, there's been some issues in there with tattoos and piercings. I'll even take my nose ring out sometimes for barristers and stuff. Yeah, okay. Which I don't normally do.
Yeah.
So, just because, well, I value that relationship as well, so I don't want to offend somebody and turn them off when we're there to do a job. I wouldn't want something to take away from it. It is very old-fashioned, though.
It is. It's interesting. How do you see AI affecting your job in the future?
It's hard to know exactly how it's going to affect it, but there is no doubt it's going to affect it. But as we've just kind of mentioned, I've been around for quite a long time, and I joked about being pre-digital. I am a pre-digital photographer, so I learnt in dark rooms, and then I taught photography, and it was all before digital imaging, really. So I've seen these major evolutions happen. Everyone told me I'd be out of a job when digital cameras came out, and then when phones came out.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's a load of rubbish, because of all the things that we've just discussed in the last 20 minutes or so, AI can't possibly influence another human's perception with a subtle change of gesture, a colour, this kind of thing. So I think that something created by a human can influence a human.
Yeah, I think so. Certainly for now, there's talk.
Same with writing.
Agree. Yeah, I agree. And there's talk that it's yet, and AI isn't good enough yet for that, but it will change. But yeah, you're right. And if you ever ask AI to tweak an image for you, we did it once.
Yeah, and it was 6 fingers.
Yeah. Or a mustache,
Love that.
Or a cowboy hat even once.
Love that.
It's actually just hilarious.
It is hilarious. It will get better. But one thing I noticed recently is LinkedIn has started to put like a marker or a tag on some images that it thinks that have been artificially manipulated. And I noticed that, I was like, I haven't done anything to that. And then I thought about it. I thought, oh, okay. We did use an AI kind of mask to mask the sky and brighten it up. So as simple as that.
Okay.
So then it was tagged as being manipulated, which was interesting, because I would just go about it a different way to do it the way I probably used to do it, so that it wasn't tagged in that way. But I kind of support it. I'm not against that, because for me, what'll really win out is authenticity.
Yes.
People will crave authenticity. They don't want to be guessing whether something's fake or not.
No, totally.
So if there's a way to show that it's not fake, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And finally, Angela, what is your top PR tip?
Think before you act, whether that acting is commissioning the PR story in the first place, the photograph, before you decide what you're wearing for the photograph, making it kind of photography related. And if you act before you think, you perhaps need somebody good in PR to look after your reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. PR wins either way.
Exactly.
And photography.
You're the winner.
Thanks so much, Ange.
Lovely.
Nobody can do business with you if they don't know about your business. But nobody will do business with you if your business's brand doesn't have trust and credibility. PR is the secret sauce in the marketing mix that can help achieve this and so much more. If you're interested in how PR can help your business, contact Harvey and Hugo, harveyandhugo.com, or email info@harveyandhugo.com.